Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're digging into something, well, something that sounds small, but feels pretty huge sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. One of those, micro decisions,
Yeah.
but absolutely packed with anxiety. This one actually comes from a listener.
Right, a listener's dilemma. And
Yeah.
it's about choosing a cake. Sounds simple enough.
Choosing the perfect cake, that's the key, for his wife's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And the source material we're looking at is, fascinatingly, an I Ching consultation he actually got about this.
Wow, okay. So we're talking ancient wisdom for dessert selection. Specifically, it was between two pretty fancy options, right? A Spanish Basque cheesecake.
Yeah, the VIX,
Yeah.
that innovative one. And the other was a French Saint-Honoré.
Yeah.
Very classic, very elegant.
Okay, two very different vibes. So our mission here isn't just, picking the winner. It's more about taking that symbolic advice he received and translating it into, practical steps. 4 phases, apparently, for handling this kind of choice overload, the anticipation, all of it.
Exactly. And the consultation itself gave this really interesting path. It started with hexagram Gina, which translates often as decay, but maybe more pointedly here, as work on what has been spoiled.
Ooh, okay. Decay. That sounds ominous for a birthday cake.
Right. And it transitions to Weiji, before completion or not yet forwarding.
Jinga to Weiji. So from dealing with something spoiled to almost there, but not quite. It sounds like a journey from maybe deep internal worry to actually getting it done, but with a twist.
That's a great way to put it. It's absolutely a journey. And the guidance, right from the start, it frames this whole thing, and not just as picking an object like the cake itself,
Right.
but as navigating a process. The real success, according to this source, hinges entirely on the care you put into the preparation and the delivery, not just the cake's flavor.
Okay, let's unpack that first part then. Hexagram, decay, or work on what's spoiled. Why would that be the starting point for buying a cake? Seems counterintuitive.
Well, GI often isn't about something literally rotting, like, spoiled food. It usually points inwards. It signifies a need for internal tidying up.
Internal, tidying up, like
Addressing your own hesitation, or getting stuck in analysis paralysis. Or maybe that deep down fear of not performing perfectly, which stops you from acting at all.
okay.
Yeah.
So in this cake scenario, Jean is flagging the buyer's own anxiety, that intense pressure to make it perfect for his wife.
Exactly. Which, ironically, just makes it harder to actually choose anything. It freezes you.
So the spoiled thing isn't the cake, it's the internal state, the worry, the perfectionism that's kind of messing up the process. You have to fix that first.
Precisely. And there's this associated poem fragment that really drives it home. It basically means patience is needed for success to ripen.
Patience. Okay, so slow down.
Yes. It's a clear instruction. Hold back. Check the details properly. Don't just rush towards the one that looks impressive or seems trendy right now.
Okay, that immediately shifts the focus, doesn't it? Jima forces you to look beyond the pretty picture, beyond the marketing, and consider the boring stuff first, the practical details you only think about if you actually pause.
Exactly. It's this internal work phase.
Yeah.
It forces you to really evaluate things objectively. Check her actual palate. Does she genuinely prefer lighter creams, or is she okay with richer flavors? Fruit versus, say, deep chocolate.
Right, and logistics too. Allergies you might have forgotten. How easy is it to keep the thing fresh? Does it need to be refrigerated constantly?
All that crucial groundwork. Think about those 2 cakes.
Yeah.
If she really loves light, airy desserts, maybe with some fruit,
Yeah.
then that French Saint-Honoré, which can be quite rich, heavy on the caramel, sometimes even a bit bitter with the choux pastry,
Yeah.
well, might look stunning, but totally miss the mark for her taste.
I see. So the aesthetic choice could be the wrong experience.
Whereas the Basque cheesecake, it's known for being different, right? That unique texture, the baked cream flavor, maybe almonds, it could be exactly the kind of novel thing she'd love.
But it probably needs careful handling, keeping it chilled, serving it right.
Exactly. Jac makes you do that homework first. It stabilizes the whole decision-making process before you even get close to buying.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You ground yourself first, do the prep work. But, internal work is one thing. You still have to actually do something. Make the choice. Buy the cake.
Right, and the source material lays out this 4-stage cycle for moving from that internal thought process to, well, external action.
4 stages. Let's hear them.
Stage 1 kind of sets the initial pace. It's called the beginning. It translates roughly as opportunity emerges. Seek a safe place.
Seek a safe place.
Yeah, the advice is pretty simple. Base your decision on actual evidence, not just what you want to be true or what looks good. The safe place means rely on solid info.
Like what kind of info?
Like remembering her reactions to past cakes. Or maybe checking her recent social media comments about food. Did she rave about something specific? Or even asking friends subtly.
Okay, gathering intel. The rule being no impulse buys based purely on looks.
Absolutely. Avoid that.
But wait a minute. Checking social media, asking friends, isn't that just going to generate more information? Couldn't that just feed the exact paralysis Jiang had trying to solve?
Ah, you've hit on the critical next step.
Yeah.
Yes, GAIM demands knowledge gathering, but stage 2 directly tackles the fallout from that, what happens when you have too much information.
Okay, stage 2, what's that?
It's development. Zhōnzai dushi jiyu, which means something like many benefits are on the boat and many eyes covet them.
Right, so you've done your research, you see good things about both cakes, the elegant Saint-Honoré, the unique Basque Cheesecake, and suddenly you're overwhelmed. Choice overload.
Exactly that. The source warns this is where hesitation creeps back in, fueled by all the options and maybe even other people's opinions weighing in. You're stuck again.
So how do you get unstuck?
This is where the preparation you did in the GM phase needs to become concrete. You need an objective checklist to cut through all those subjective feelings, the coveting.
A checklist. Okay, that's practical. What criteria did the source mandate? We should lay these out.
Definitely. So first point, very pragmatic. Preservation convenience. How durable is this cake? Is it super delicate? Does it need special storage?
Okay, practicalities first. Makes sense. What's next?
Transportation feasibility. Especially crucial if you're not celebrating right at home. Which cake is going to survive the car ride? Bumps, turns, a collapsed cake is not ideal.
No, definitely not. Okay, preservation transport. What else?
Third, you circle back to taste acceptance. This is like the final check-in. Rich versus light. Clear flavors versus complex ones. Is this really something she, the main audience, is going to enjoy? Or is it just what you think looks impressive?
Good point. It's easy to project your own preferences.
Very easy. And finally, number 4, aesthetic and surprise. Does the look and feel of the cake match the kind of celebration you're aiming for?
Yeah.
You know, a super formal, high-ritual cake sends a different message than a more rustic, cozy one.
Right. So this systematic comparison, it kind of forces the anxiety out by making it objective.
That's the idea. It gives you a logical path through the confusion.
Okay, so we've done the internal work, navigated the choice overload with a checklist. Now this is where you said it gets really interesting. We shift to the final hexagram. HearYi, not yet forwarding. That still sounds unfinished, like you're about to fail right at the end. If the choice is made, why is the outcome still not yet forwarding?
Yeah, HearYi often gets that negative spin, like incomplete or failure. But the source here interprets it quite differently, which is key.
How so?
It frames HearYi as, okay, the final section isn't quite wrapped up, but, and this is crucial, the process is being propelled forward by a benevolent force.
A benevolent force.
Yeah. Think of it like you've already navigated the trickiest part of crossing the river. You're almost at the other bank. The final step isn't about more struggle. It's about letting go of control a bit, trusting the momentum.
Ah, that changes everything. So success at this point isn't about the technical perfection of the cake anymore. It's about the delivery, the feeling around it.
Precisely. And again, there's a poem fragment tied to this. Jiji shan duman gifang, which suggests something like benevolence assists completion, spreading fragrant laurel.
Fragrant laurel, like victory or success?
Yes, but achieved through warmth, through sharing. The focus totally shifts from getting the product perfect to creating the perfect shared experience.
Yeah.
Communal effort, you know.
That makes so much sense for the next stage. The source mentions stage 3, deviation. It says, discrepancies do not last. It basically anticipates that small things will go wrong.
Right. Reality check time. The bakery might have made it slightly the wrong size, or maybe the flavor's a tiny bit off because strawberries are out of season, or, you know, traffic jams mess up your timing.
And if you've poured all your energy into controlling every single variable back in that GM phase,
then even a tiny hiccup can feel like a catastrophe, like all that effort was wasted.
Yeah. So what's the advice then?
It's actually quite profound. Prepare a contingency plan, specifically for imperfection.
Like what? A backup cake?
Well, it could be something small, yeah, like having some nice macarons or cookies on hand just in case. But more importantly, it's about preparing yourself emotionally. Maybe have a sincere, heartfelt card ready. Or think about a little speech.
Ah, the heartfelt speech. That becomes the benevolent force you mentioned, the thing that smooths over the slight flaw in the cake.
Exactly. It saves the atmosphere. It reclaims the emotional core of the celebration, making the minor cake issue insignificant. If the feeling is right, the flaw doesn't stick.
Okay, that's brilliant. So prepare for things not being perfect, and that leads to the final stage.
Yes, stage 4. Kyu kan wuyu yi, basically. Proceed without worry or doubt.
Let it go.
Let it go. Once you've done the Jane homework, made the choice using the checklist, and prepped your emotional contingency, the final step is to release all that anxiety. Stop worrying about the cake,
And focus
the
on
emotional setting, lighting the candles properly, putting on her favorite music, genuinely expressing your appreciation, that whole frame you build around the moment. That's what transforms even a slightly imperfect cake into a really warm, cherished memory.
Wow. Okay, so looking at the whole arc, it really is a psychological roadmap, isn't it?
Absolutely. You move from that intense, internal, almost anxious preparation phase, the yin energy of Jing, if you like, to this external action, this focus on shared warmth and letting go the yang energy of Wei Ji. Stabilize your own mind first, do the detailed work, then trust the emotional delivery to carry it home.
It really elevates choosing a cake from just, buying something into this mindful, strategic act.
It truly does. And the source suggests the ultimate success isn't found in controlling everything, but in accepting those small imperfections and using sincerity, that emotional connection, to make the moment special.
So after all that deep strategy, did the source actually give a final recommendation, like Basque or Saint-Honoré?
It did, but conditionally, based on all that Jian homework.
Okay.
If the wife's preference, discovered through that diligent research, leaned towards classic richness, sophistication, that sort of high ritual elegance, then the French Saint-Honoré was suggested.
Okay. And the alternative?
If she values innovative textures, something a bit more exotic or unique in flavor, maybe a bit more rustic but special.
Then the Spanish Basque Cheesecake gets the nod.
Right. But, and this is but the final rule overarching everything was that real success comes down to the process. The diligent prep, Chiema, and that focused, warm emotional delivery, Hui Ji. The cake type is secondary to getting that right.
That really makes you think, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
how often do we apply that level of detailed, systematic preparation, that working on what's spoiled inside ourselves first, to our everyday micro decisions?
Yeah.
Whether it's choosing a gift like this, or maybe planning a difficult conversation, or even just deciding to start a new habit.
It raises a really interesting question. How much easier might those choices feel if we trusted that disciplined process more?
And worried less about achieving some mythical, perfect outcome.
Exactly. It's a strong case for bringing that kind of mindfulness, that structured thinking, even to the small stuff. Maybe the quality of the journey really does shape the destination.
A lot to chew on there beyond just cake. Thank you for joining this deep dive into choice, anxiety, and ancient strategy. Maybe take a moment this week to observe your own decision-making process. See where a little Jane-style preparation might smooth the path to a Wei Ji success.